walked out. If the whole country was walking out, why do you think Coulommiers didn't?
I didn't say that.
No, I'm asking you. In '34,
Yeah.
there's this big general strike, and people in
It
textile
wasn't
mills.
all that big. Now you gotta realize you're talking about it was only involved in the textile industry,
Right.
and the textile industry was big back in those days. But it wasn't that many places that was involved in it, from what I understand about it. It wasn't no great big thing where all the textile plants was involved in it, nothing like that at all. It was the forerunner of the modern textile unions, of course, but they had no union.
Well, in some places they did. They had the UTW. Right.
The UTW, yeah, I think they were formed long.
Foreman.
They didn't call it the UTW though then. I forgot what it's called it. Yeah, I was a forerunner of all that, but there was no big organized unions in the South at the time.
Okay, so
Check it.
Okay, from what I understand, it was a really huge strike. I mean, it took place all over the South and even in New England. So it's just it's
Oh, well, it was huge, I guess you would say, compared to the norm.
I guess Harold, what she's looking for, you know, if a lot of textile companies in the South decided to strike on that day, then why didn't Cooley strike?
I don't know because I wasn't old enough, you know.
yeah.
But as far as I know, no one came here and tried to get them to strike. Now, I'm sure there was some that came here on their own or something, you know, and or maybe small groups and try to talk to people. I don't know about that. But the big rumor about a whole bunch were coming here in automobiles, you know, and all that, that never happened. Not to my knowledge, and I'm sure I remember that.
You were going to school then, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
And did you remember talking to people in the National Guard? Those men that were sitting out here.
Well, my parents didn't let me wander off too much back in those days, but I remember going down on the old square and seeing the machine gun set up there on the square, and you could see the people walk around on top of the mill where they had a machine gun. That's all I remember about the actual National Guard. Yeah, I talked to some of the National Guard troops, but I was just a kid, and I probably just asked them silly questions compared to what you would be interested in knowing, you know.
Right.
Probably asked them where they're from, how they like it, could they shoot that gun or something like that, you know.
Right. That's interesting.
But I told Jan I wouldn't be much help to you on the 34 strike, because that's all I remember about it.
Are there any folks alive today, you think, that can talk about it from Coolommiers?
Well, there's probably a few around, but they probably, mine wouldn't be where they could tell you much about it. I don't even know. I don't know of one, but all the old people about died out. I used to talk about the old people when I retired, and there was a lot of them still living, but they've died like crazy. I'm the old people now. 70 years old, you the old people.
That's something. Huh. So, Cindy's dad said that there's 88% of the people. No, her uncle said 88% of your mill joined the union. Is that so? That's something.
Well, I just told you a while ago, at one point we had 95%.
95%.
Yeah. But it stayed around, 88, 85 to 90% normally, which is good, real good. But I remember at one point we got up to 95%. That was when they were at the peak. They'd put on what we call coarse stuff they were running in the mill, and heavy yarn. It took a lot of people, because a piece of cloth took more yarn to make when they run the heavy stuff. And at that point we had 1,500 members, but that didn't last long, not that high. That's awfully high.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just very impressed that Coulommiers was such a union town, and you could call it that, couldn't you?
Yeah, we were one of the first towns to organize and had a solid union, and for years, 30 years.
All right then. And you belong to Act Two? This was.
Belong to who?
What was the name of the union that you're local?
Well, the first one was Textile Workers Union of America, CIO. And the AFL and the CIO was two separate unions to begin with. And then we had a fight in our union, and we switched and went to the United Textile Workers of America, which is the AFL. And then they consolidated all one union somewhere along the line. But the last union that we had when the mill closed was the one that we'd been in for years then, was the United Textile Workers of America, AFL-CIO then.
Which is what you belong to.
No, I belong to Act Two,
Right.
Amalgamated Clothing and Textile Workers Union.
So they broke away from them and then they created Act Two, right?
They all merged together and
merged
created Act Two. The Textile Workers Union, the Clothing Workers
Right.
Union, everything merged together. That was after the AFL-CIO merger.
Of course, now they still have two separate textile unions. It's all AFL-CIO.
Really?
The TWA, which was the Textile Workers Union of America, is consolidated with ladies garment workers and something. I forget now what all they don't call themselves TWA, do they? They call themselves, but the United Textile Workers of America still goes by that name. They still have a local in Irwin, which was one of the original urban mills.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You were saying? We were talking about you went walking one day and you were walking in Salisbury.
And a what?
You were walking in Salisbury one day, you said, and you came home and they said, "Come on, you have to come to strike."
Oh yeah, these guys in the car round them up and they picked me up and they put us on an old slatted truck and lit out the Coulommiers, and we got down here in Square, and I said, "Where's town?" And they said, "This is it."
That's it. That's
I
all
said,
it
"We're
is.
looking for Coulommiers." I don't remember. We didn't shoot nobody. I know. You eliminate that, right?
Yeah. What did you bring with you? What kind of what do you call equipment did you bring with you?
Nothing but an old 3 rifle, 30 caliber job.
Took everything away from you, didn't they, when you got down there?
They took everything away from you when you got down here?
Nah, I don't know what you
Someone
call.
said you had a sack and you had to dump everything out and they took about everything.
Now that's when we come back from overseas. Now we believe it or not, we had live ammunition back there. They didn't. You take the way they do now. You take all this looting and all going on. Well, they ain't got no right to touch them. Back in, boom, boom, you're dead. Catch you looting something, that was just tough stuff, 'cause you're dead.
Now, back in '34 during the strike, what were your orders? What were you ordered to do?
Keep the mail running. That was the idea of the thing, because them people coming from Kannapolis would force them to close it down. And what they did, I wasn't in it. I was in
Low now.
garden on the back, walking back behind the mill there, and they went up on the square and called me and turned them around, them strikers from Kannapolis coming up here. Didn't even let them go down to the mill. Their constitutional duty to go down to the mill.
How'd they turn him around?
Tell them. We stand out there with a rifle loaded and 45s and bayonets. Well, you don't have no trouble turning nobody around. They ain't got no gun.
Now, you had joined the National Guard 2 years earlier, right?
And what?
You joined the National Guard, you said, when you were...
Yeah. Supposed to have been 18 years old. I think I like about a half a year, something like that. With all that big money in there, you know, shining for you. You say you been to Japan.
Yeah.
What'd you lose over there?
I didn't lose anything.
I was over there when, in Japan when McCarthy, you know, MacArthur was run that place over, and he had this big headquarters out there.
So how long did you stay in Coulomé?
I don't know, do you? Beats me. And just thinking and laying your life on the line, there's some nut that will knock you off. We got $1 a day for that, too. Big money.
Well, I know that strike lasted a couple of weeks all over the country. So maybe you were here a couple of weeks. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, we was here at least that long.
And did the mill ever shut down, or was it working all the time?
For the mail?
Yeah.
Yeah, it work all the time. That's why we get out when they start to change shifts. Well, we go up and guard the gates and guard the way in. Nobody didn't hurt nobody.
Now, do you recall people standing outside and asking other people not to go into work and doing all that kind of stuff?
It's been so long, I forgot what they done.
Yeah, that's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had we had something besides the 03 rifle. We had BARs, which you shoot 750 times a minute, if you could load it that fast. That's what they counted it, but they had 20 shot clips, and you pull the trigger like that and boom, it's gone, and you put another in.
Where did you keep is that a machine gun?
It's a BAR, Browning automatic job.
Where did you
They
keep
were
that?
actually automatic. Now they beat their gums about semi-automatic rifle. Well, you can buy them with bushels of them. Semi-automatic means it shoots every time you pull the trigger, but automatic, you pull the trigger and it answers it unless you turn it loose right quick.
Now, I was told that they had a machine gun stationed on top of the mill, too. Remember that?
They didn't have nothing like that.
Nah. Not that I know of. If it did, I didn't see it. We didn't even have a machine gun. We got one, if I remember right, back when it was what they called Nigger Day, you know. They have it in Salisbury down there. And they had got a machine gun in down there. They come from everywhere. The blacks did down there, and we had a machine gun then.
How many people were in your unit then?
Phew, I don't know.
A lot of guys?
Oh yeah.
All from the same town?
Nah, they was different places. Well, you take Salisbury. Well, you got Spencer, you got Landis, you got China Grove, and all them are in about the same circle. Except Salisbury, the unit was in Salisbury.
And this was your first tour of duty. Your first active duty was to come here to.
Yeah, as far as carrying armed, loaded guns. That's the first one we ever had. Now, just before I got in it, they had a strike somewhere. I don't forget where the heck that place was. It got pretty rough down there.
Were you there too?
I wasn't in it then. I wasn't old enough. And I probably wouldn't join no how. You ain't gonna join something that's gonna get your head busted or something. Not if you know it before you join it.
Do you remember what that strike was about? What they wanted?
For
What
here?
Yeah.
They didn't want nothing here. I don't know nothing about not wanting nothing. You? Didn't nobody.
Going to work, so,
They didn't nobody belong to the union here.
but they went anyway.
All we were here for is to keep the people from Kannapolis from intimidating them here and try to make them go on strike with them. That's all it's supposed to be, and that's all we done. But they had their rules made to be broken. I went in the store down there to get a pack of cigarettes and chewing tobacco or something. And oh boy, you could have anything you want. They even give us, every one of us, a carton of cigarettes, and all of that stuff was strictly illegal. You don't have no power with nobody.
You're not supposed to talk to anybody?
Oh yeah, but you ain't supposed to accept nothing from them like cigarettes. That's bribery, more or less. It didn't cost them much, but it's still bribery.
So who was giving you the cigarettes?
The company, I reckon. The company owned the Jan Ledford, as you want to call it, and they had furniture, anything. The whole cotton picking thing belonged to them. Post office belonged to them.
No.
That big theater. I don't reckon you ever got to go to that theater. No.
So we call it the horse stable.
That house there, and that house there was below the theater. Stinger Imes, I believe, lived in one of them. And
That Howard man lived in
no, Boo lived, can't think of his dad burned name.
So
Wade Boo lived in that house when it was down there. And they lived in it up here, then they actually moved it up here.
But before you told me that you described the mission of the National Guard here, and you said it was just about showing force.
No. I get it wasn't no show of force then. It was force. In other words, if you break the rules and regulations, bylaws, and whatever you want to call it, we was there to see that you didn't. And we didn't have no trouble with them because they was wanting to work down here. Most people can't afford to be out a long time. Except me now. I've been out a long time. About 12 years, I reckon. But the National Guards they sort of say they're not supposed to show any partiality to either side. They're supposed to be there to enforce. If they have them called in to keep this plant running, that's what they did. And that's what we done. We kept that plant running. And we didn't have to cut nobody's throat. We didn't have to shoot nobody or nothing because we had a long knife and a big rifle. They didn't have nothing. And then we had a little BAR sitting down there, spit a lot of bullets, and people don't like you shooting at them with them automatic rifle.
Now, you had some time, it looks like, to make friends with some of the people that lived here, huh?
Friend,
Well, you met your wife here, didn't you?
yeah, and let's see, your cousin, I believe.
How'd you meet your wife here? Do you remember?
Talk to her. I don't know. I think,
Chris met him when the strike was over, didn't he?
no.
Come up here.
Yeah, but
Oh, when the
no, I
strike was
didn't.
over.
Yeah, I didn't just drive up here. I never seen you before. I think I talked to you in the post office, I believe.
During the strike.
Yeah. Then I run into, she's spending out all that hard-earned money down in Salisbury, and I run into her down there. She made big money, about $20 a week, didn't you?
Something like that.
20 bucks a week. In the spinning room?
Weaver and
That's a lot of money, 20 bucks a week.
Yeah, the ordinary common labor, I believe, is about $9 here at the time. I believe when I come to work here, they wasn't paying but $9 for common labor. But I started out as a mechanic. I didn't.
had to work for that little old money too, 'cause them old looms kept you going.
I bet they did.
So, your full name is Lawrence Mills?
LF Mills.
LF Mills.
LF.
And your address is
62. What?
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 WKWT Watt Street.
What?
Watt Street, Coolumay. Okay. So, I think if we could come back, you're gonna be here tomorrow?
I don't
If you're not in
know.
Mexico?
Oh, is just kidding you
I
about
know.
Mexico.
I imagine we will.
Okay.
More than likely.
All right. How about should I call you beforehand and make sure you're home, or just show up?
Yeah, that'd be the thing to do.
I think so too. Wait, could you tell me your number so I could call you?
Can you tell her a number? 284-2236.
Okay. And I'm gonna write down my name and all. I'll leave it with you. So,
Now we're getting
Tell her
somewhere.
so you know who I am.
22, what'd you tell her?
Huh?
22, what'd you tell her?
22336.
Oh, let me ask you something. You remembered it before. The number on your rifle,
Which rifle?
the one that they gave you when you came here to Coolumay.
Pooh, I done forgot it again. 580904.
Now, is that your number?
348-94636. That one. Number in World War II. Now I think they go by Social Security numbers.
But you had a special number as a National Guardsman?
No.
Your rifle had a number as a National
Yeah,
Guardsman?
that's all. I don't remember. We didn't even have a number. I don't remember if we did. But in World War II, everybody had a serial number.
But you said your rifle had a number.
580904, yeah.
That's here. That was for the National Guard.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really interesting that you remember that. You don't have that rifle anymore, do you? You had to give it back?
No. I got a Japanese rifle if you want to shoot somebody.
No, I don't want to shoot anybody. I don't want to shoot anybody.
Nah, you don't get none.
There's some shells to go in it.
They do in I think in these legions and all, they get some of those old rifles for.
And who was your commander in chief from your Company C?
Yeah, Captain Cole. He was old line man, and they didn't go into no dadburn foolishness.
You think he's still around?
Cole?
Yeah.
Nah, he was probably 50 years old then. Back when I joined the National Guard. I bet you get some confused and conflicting. I don't remember. Jack, what's Jack's name? Cope. Jack Cope was here. Damn, she ought to know Jack
Oh,
Cope.
you mean Jack Rainey? Jack Rainey?
Cope.
Who's that?
He lives out there. You know where Allen's store
Uh-huh.
was at? He lived right there, in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Oh, Lord.
Well, he was in the National Guard.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he lived over there on Gladstone Road, like where Allen's, right in by the Allen's store in there somewhere.
You think? Wait, what's it? Let's see. What's his name? Jack?
Jack Cope,
C-O-L-E?
C-O-P-E.
C-O-P-E.
I think that's right.
And he lives.
Gladstone Road.
And he was in the Company C also.
He's the only one I can think of now that.
So you and he were in training together.
I don't know. We were in the National Guard together.
You were in,
Yeah.
So you remember coming here together with him?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's he married a girl from here, just like I did. Married when
I can't even think of her name now.
Now, do you remember Athey? Was it Jack Athey?
Jack Athey.
Jack
No. Jack Athey wasn't here. Jack Athey ain't that old. Jack Athey lives over on 801, right across the road from that Phillips station over here. But Jack Athey,
Let me see.
He was here tonight.
I don't think Jack Athey was Jack Copes, who I was talking about over on Gladstone Road.
You remember Athey that was in the unit with you? He came to Coolamy with the Guard, and he married my daddy's cousin,
Alice Jordan.
Alice Jordan.
Oh, that's her
Is
cousin.
that your cousin?
Ben Jordan's girl.
Right.
I believe his name was Jack. Was it Athey?
Yeah, Jack Athey.
I done forgot. Now they are Jack Athey here.
Yeah, I know him.
So this
But
was
Jack Athey's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Jack Athey's been dead for years.
Dead.
Yeah.
So there were 3 National Guardsmen who married local girls from Coolamy.
Yeah,
Jack Athey didn't live here, did he?
yeah. Jack Athey come to work down here in the mill.
I don't remember him being here.
Do you think Jack Cope would be willing to come over and we could all talk together?
Ain't no difference to me. I see him every once in a while. Come over to the post office, collect his check, and go back home and sit down. I reckon. I don't.
You don't work over at the post office, do you?
I don't work nowhere. You take us old retired military men, we get a great big pension and all that stuff. And that's a
Maybe you
bunch.
could
That's
call him and get him over here tomorrow.
You think?
think what?
You think maybe you could call him and get him over here tomorrow?
I doubt it.
We could try though, right?
Yeah, you can call him there, or you can go over there for us. That's probably the best thing. Go over there and you get him in a corner on the telephone.
Yeah, on the telephone they say no, and that's it, right?
It's 90% of them. That's the way we got. Where they so many people call and they're wanting to sell you something or make out like they're gonna give you something.
Yeah.